Hello gamers, it's Rubik here with my boy WT. How are you, mate?
Doing great. Glad to be back for another episode. I think it's episode 22 now, right?
Yeah, probably the second last of the year. So
right. Very excited to
come up on a quick.
Yeah, very excited to talk about Knights Grimoire and get into this. Some more awesome games coming out that we want to talk about.
Yeah. So we'd like to introduce Ted to the pod. How are you, mate?
Hello. How's it going?
We're good, and we're really looking forward to having a chat with you about your pixel little universe that you're creating. Knights Grimoire or Knights Grimoire? How do you pronounce it exactly? Sorry.
You can call it as you want, actually. Don't call it Super Mario. That could be like deviating people, but yeah, Knights Grimoire. It depends, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you want to introduce yourself and talk about...
Okay, so let's do like a radio introduction, like welcome to Gamers Galaxie. Here with Rubik and WT, we have Tados. Added the sound effects. And yeah, like a dum. Okay, welcome. I'm Ted. I'm super bad to make sound effects. As you noticed, I'm in the fashion field since 10 years or even more. I'm from Italy, from Milan, and I worked in the fashion field in the physical as a photographer or a graphic designer. Then I moved to 3D, being a 3D artist. Okay, and then after the pandemic, let's say, I discovered the Web3 world, and people like said, bro, like you can sell your JPEGs and make them expensive. I said, how? And then all the blockchain things arrived. Then I discovered all the story behind Bitcoin and so on. I really love the technology. I'm studying also the blockchain and Bitcoin. I'm really passionate on Bitcoin and the NFT in general, but especially on that. And nothing. I launched a collection that went pretty good last year on GameStop marketplace, and from there I approached layer 2. I was on Ethereum, then I moved to Solana, then I was also on crypto.com chain, and right now I'm basically on layer 2 with Loopring, IMX. Yes, so this is me. After the shoes, I decided to do stupid things like not buying a house or a car or proper shoes. I decided, how can I waste my money? I decided to create this video game, Knights Grimoire.
Very cool, very in depth. I can honestly say we have not had an introduction with sound effects like that before. So
I think it was a hint to us, a bit of a hint to us, WT. Like our introductions were a little bit boring, so to liven it up a bit.
I know.
We'll take that on board, Teddy. Sorry about that, mate.
I feel like we need to step up our game going forward now. So yeah, that's pretty funny. So I'm looking at.
If you want, I can be.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. No. If you want, I can be super boring. I can start to read the dictionary.
No, it was hilarious.
No,
not at all. You just caught us off guard. It was awesome. I loved it.
My girlfriend wasn't expecting that.
My girlfriend always, when she wants to sleep, she says, "Can you tell me about Bitcoin or crypto in general?" And after 2 minutes, wow, she was completely dead.
Nice. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. So I'm checking out the Knights Grimoire website and looking through some of the gameplay and features you have up there. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's just like OG Zelda, but like I kind of get that feel looking at it and the way it's moving around, and the like even scrolling down, I can see some of the characters that kind of remind me of it. Where'd you get the inspiration to put this game together the way you have?
So, what's my role? Let's say, what's my role inside the game? Because I'm not a pixel artist, I'm not a dev, and I only basically invested. I walk through the marketing, working with a collaboration. So basically, I'm a CEO of the company, and I have also some part on the gameplay, of course, and the artistical field. So the inspiration I luckily find through friends of friends. I found this experienced hardcore gamer from the 90s, which is Simon. Simon from Kibu Entertainment. He used to play games from the 90s, so really different from pixels, like the pixel era of the game, from that era. And we decided to make this game. So he's a developer. He works on Game Maker Studio. We have a team of 10 persons behind Knights Grimoire, split between multiplayer, Web3, smart contract, development of the game, marketing, and so on. So yes, we found the inspiration basically on the medieval fantasy world, because it's basically a knight. So we have the dryad, we have a wizard, we have a necromancer, princess, and so on. But we like to go crazy sometimes. For instance, I'm not a huge fan of religion in general, and we decided to create a special event card of the wizard with a different skin called San Nicola Cola. For instance, because I don't know if you know it, but Santa Claus was created by Coca-Cola.
Was it?
It's not a joke, unfortunately, because Santa Claus was a saint from Germany, and his day is in the beginning, like at the first week of December, and the red, and it was originally green, and the Coca-Cola took this saint, this old guy drinking Coca-Cola, and they said, why we cannot use this guy to sell our product? And for instance, if you check the card, there are like bottles of cola.
Did you drop that to me? I think I've got it. I've got that card. Is that an airdrop?
Yeah, you sent me the card before, so you can check.
I've got the dryad. I've got myself a dryad, and then I just checked them just now and can see that I've got San Nicola Cola, which is kind of funny because everyone knows that Santa Claus isn't really related to religion; it's about commercialism. But anyway, we let it be our little ceremony if we like religion.
My childhood memories feel attacked right now. I don't know how I'm gonna carry on this holiday season. I'm just joking.
Cool. So, like, what's the goal of the game? Did you say it's multiplayer? You can group up as a team and go and attack together, or is it single player? How does it work? What's the loop?
Okay. So the game is free, and we mentioned some of the characters. So it's an RPG game. You are a knight, okay, and you have your companion. And you can choose your companion. You have a team of 6 companions, that you can bring with you, and every week we launch a different companion on the market, and it could be, and it's immediately token gated inside the game. Token gated means that you connect your wallet, and now we are implementing a thing inside the game, because now you have to do you have to go to another website, paste your wallet and a link to your email, so you don't have to sign anything at the moment, which is like better like this for now when we structure more, but that's another thing.
Sorry,
talking about
sorry, can I go back to that a bit? You're saying so if I buy or have NFTs in my wallet, my Immutable wallet, that's correct?
Correct.
The game can read that without me somehow connecting the wallet to the game?
Yeah, if you there is a button on the game when you arrive, and it says connect wallet, and it brings you to another website where you can paste your address, basically. We are working for better optimization. I would like to remind that the game was born like the last 5 days of August, so it's a good alpha in my opinion, but it needs to be more concrete, and I think that this summer we can have a good beta and gold master in 1 year and a half, and let's see. By the way, starting from the beginning, so we are a knight and we have to battle. We have our companion that we can say that are sort of Pokemon, and the game has the same feeling of a little bit of Pokemon, multiplayer part of Dark Souls, and there is some hubs, some rooms where you can interact with other players. You can put your name on the night. There is a chat with other users, and we are implementing also invasions. There will be a real estate situation. There will be official token of the game. So we are working on. It will be massive for especially the next year. So like in a couple of it starts like in a couple of weeks. So the 2024 will be super huge. We have a lucid roadmap. If you check on the on the website, there is a part called the white paper where you can check our documentation, the gameplay, and especially the roadmap. We have a lucid roadmap until January 2026 with all the implementation of the game, regarding the marketing, regarding the gameplay. We are working on collaborations with other projects, always inside the crypto field. I cannot say the name, but they are quite good, quite big, let's say.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have a good game that is developing with the 2 updates every month. You can play right now. There is also a mini fishing game, and every week we reset the points. There is a official leaderboard. You can check on Discord.
Fishing
with fishing, gold, and levels. Right now, people can arrive until level 10, because we would like to avoid like people that goes like a god mod, reaching like platinum, like the game super high, like the Karens on Candy Crush. These poor developers has to do like 11 million like this, and they say Madam, can you please stop to play? It's like, no. 10 years playing a Candy Crush. Like,
He said the Karens on Candy Crush. I love it.
yes, on their SUV.
Wow. Yeah, you got a lot going on here, and yeah, you're very early. You stated that you just started in August, so games take a long time to make. Super early, very detailed. I'm looking at the white paper right now. Man, you guys got it like month by month what you're doing, and I never see that. That's kind of awesome how transparent you guys are being. Obviously, you're a ways out. You're game developing. Looks like down the road in 2026, you're doing tokenomics, so you're putting the game first, which is awesome. What's if you have a long-term vision, what does it look like, or if maybe it's just a short-term vision, what is that for you?
Related to the game.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What's the,
For short vision, actually, we need to adjust. I'm really rushing for having just few tools that we need to understand better the game from the first moment, because we are doing some tutorials. We are explaining more the game inside the game, because it was not everyone loves to explore, to read or something. So we have to make something more obvious, because, as I said, Simon is a good guy, and he came from an era where you have a game and they don't explain nothing. If you remember the first Super Mario, they don't explain like you nothing, even the buttons. So you have to understand what you have to do by yourself. Okay, and right now in the game, you have to explore, reading inside the game, like tabloids, or talking with people, or understanding what's going on. How, for instance, in the desert, a lot of people get crazy because they cannot find a way to escape to find an exit from the desert, because there is some let's say doors that brings you in a way, but it's a sort of loop, and this is a way to recreate like the hallucination of the desert. Okay, like the same sensation that you can feel when you are lost in the desert. That is amazing as a gameplay, but I would like to adjust more a little bit, just a few details. So I think the wind is good, and the people are enjoying for what we have right now. For a long term, I think the game could be a thing, actually, and I'm not worried to, let's say, competitors or something, because every day I discover like new games are launched in the crypto field. Last year only 700 I saw in 2022 were launched on the crypto field, and this year are expecting, I have to check, but for sure we are more than 4,000 or 5,000.
Oh yeah,
something like this.
Wow.
Yes, counting all the blockchains, layer 2s, and so on. So we are big, we are a lot, but as always my mother says, there is always a place under the sun for everyone. So I'm not so let's see in a positive way. And my mother was telling the truth, because before starting this experience I said, what's the best business that during the pandemic or during the worst economical crisis never fell? It was gaming.
nice.
And do you know how many gamers we are in this world?
I think
Yeah,
like
it's
3
like over
billion.
3 billion.
3 billion, something like that.
Bravissimo. So the 50% of this planet, 3 billion and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
counting people that is like a ninja people streaming all day, all weeks, all days on Twitch, from the old Karens playing on Candy Crush. So they are players, actually. They are players.
Karens are people too.
Yes. So there is a space also for everyone. So
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm positive for this game.
So moving into the blockchain side of things, you said that you released on a GameStop marketplace. What was that chain on? Was that the Loopring F based or
Yes.
on
Yes.
or Loopring?
Yeah, it was Loopring, correct.
Okay. And is Knights Grimoire just immutable?
Knights Grimoire, it's multi-chain, but
Okay.
wait. For sure, we choose to stay on layer 2 because layer 1, of course, it's not a thing, and the Immutable, which is friendly with GameStop, because GameStop has when it started. When they opened their marketplace in July 2022, they went directly with Loopring and Immutable. Okay, and since they decided to stay in the gaming field, they said, probably, I don't know, this is what I thought. So from their vision, they said, we always sold games, but we never did our own platform for gaming. So they embraced Immutable, which was a thing since 2017 or 18, I can't remember, but it was a huge. And the good thing about Immutable, it's we saw from Gods Unchained. Gods Unchained tells what Immutable is: no fees. Immediately you have all the transactions done, and it's good. Now, right now, they are doing also the passport. The passport, it enlightens and structures the boring thing about security, scalability for us, as developers of games, and leave like more time to focus on marketing, doing better games, connecting with gamers, and so on. So this is I think why we choose to stay on Immutable, and we are multi-chain because from the thing that we are on token, we have a token gated thing, and for instance, from the next month there will be inside the game as Grimos, there will be the cyber clone from a cyber crew project, which was super good. It is super good on Loopring and GameStop. There will be also my characters that I created as Taddles, so collaboration with myself. So yeah, I it's like I will like how can I say, it's a little bit cringy. Yeah, I know, but yeah, it's a thing. And we have a collaboration with the H4SR, and more collaboration are coming with other creators and other kind of crypto business related that are participating with special events, creating for them exclusively. Right now we have the Christmas event, we will do Easter event, Halloween, and other kind of events related to like every month, basically.
Oh wow, cool. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you guys able to work with Immutable tools at all?
Well, I think yes. Listen. Okay, listen. I would like to tell you this thing because we have this guy Buzz. and we have a chat with the devs. And when can you hear me?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, lovely. When I talk, when I see their chat with the devs, and they are talking about server client coding and things, and they are talking with, they are using that coding dictionary that I can't understand the shit. I tell to Buzz, what's going on the chat? They are doing good. They are doing, no worries, Dad. They are doing good. They are doing what we need to do for this milestone. Okay, so it's good, the situation. Yes. No, you don't have to worry. I just say, okay, because they look like so cold, like they're working on atomic bomb or something. So to answer
Atomic
to your
swaps?
question,
Yeah. So
to answer,
to sum it up, Buzz gives a thumbs up to his experience with working with Immutable tools and devs. That's what it sounded like, right?
yes.
Okay.
So basically, Buzz is our Web3 guy, and he basically, we have different people that during the web part, we have one for multiplayer where Buzz is doing airdrops, minting, and smart contract and so on. The token gating part. So to answer to your question, me personally, that I'm a fucking blonde, I cannot tell. I can only read papers, and
All right,
I can
let's move on.
say yes. So they can work on Immutable, so they know how to do things. Me personally, no.
All right, let's move on to something a little bit less technical then. If you're not really across it, we have a little bit of a fun game where we ask 12 questions of our guest. You have we like one word answers, but if you want to give it like one sentence to explain yourself, then that as well. But we're not looking for a long. It's like 10 to 12 questions in 60 seconds kind of thing. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, cool. Do you prefer to watch sports or esports?
I hate sports. Like also going to the gym. I'm a fucking lazy person. But if I have to answer,
Sports or esports? Neither. You can say
no,
neither.
no,
You don't-
even esports are boring. Sorry. No, for
All right.
me, I prefer probably esports because before buying a game, I always go to YouTube watching a YouTuber or streamer playing. So before buying, I watch minimum 30 minutes of gameplay. So I would say esports in that
No
case.
worries. So, do you prefer to play sports or play video games? Sounds like video games.
No, video games, absolutely. Sports, even playing.
Okay, we
No.
get it. No sport person. What's your favorite video game?
Oof. I'm a huge fan of. Okay, I can say two games if I can. I'm a huge fan of open worlds, so I'm a Skyrim person or from Elder Scrolls.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Oh, fuck them. It's an answer.
Xbox, PlayStation, or PC?
Nintendo Switch.
Oh, I can't believe I've got Nintendo in there. Unbelievable. I should add that in there. That's a good call out. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's now 4 choices. I've never been a big Nintendo fan. That's probably why I forgot when I wrote those questions. Okay, next one is books or movies?
Sorry?
Books or movies?
Oh, well, both, actually. Yeah, I'm good for...
What's your favorite book and favorite movie at the moment?
At the moment, was reading the Bitcoin Standard. It's quite boring, but it's necessary. Movie, since I'm a basic blonde person, I'm rewatching for the 11th time, I can't remember. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh wow. Ferrari or Lamborghini?
I will say probably Ferrari.
All right. You're Italian. Oh, they're both Italian, aren't they? Favorite ice cream flavor?
Ice cream flavor. I will say probably coconut.
Coconut. Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
coconut.
Here's the big question.
Yeah.
This is the big question. One word to describe Elon Musk.
Liar.
Ooh.
I don't like him. He acts like
I was expecting that. I was really expecting that. He's in your home country right now.
sorry.
He's in your home country right now. He's in Italy. Just had a big show all about him. Your president
okay.
has got a bit of a liking towards him.
I don't like this kind of person that acts like villains from the movies. He looks like a villain from Roger Rabbit or something like this. And
Don't hold
he's
back.
good,
Don't hold back.
and
Don't hold
he's
back.
Yeah, go.
no, he's good for business, but he's dangerous for many things, and we don't have to focus on his sketchy attitude that he has as a meme creator or something.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
there's
Sorry if I went really deep, but it was brutally honest.
That's cool. I've heard every single kind of opinion about him. I'm a fan. I like what he's done for society, enabled free speech, brought on the onset of electric vehicles through pushing it. He's relaunched rockets 16 years ago. No one's been able to do it into orbit and been able to do it since then. His Starship that just launched was simply amazing. Like Neuralink to save people's ability to see again, walk again. All these different abilities that people have no hope for now will be going to be cured in the next 10 years. Boring tunnel. Like you can't deny that the guy's achieved so much for society. As much as you might dislike him as a person,
he's a fucking genius. He's a fucking genius. He's brilliant. He's not innovative for many things, but I don't like his attitude like outside. As worker, I can say that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, mate. I wouldn't be in crypto if it wasn't for him. So he brought people here as well. I remember him saying Dogecoin. I go, what's this Dogecoin thing? I looked at it and I went, okay, I'll put $2,000 into it. And then 2 weeks later, it was worth 10 grand. So, and sold it and went, sweet. And then I went, what is this crypto stuff? So he would have brought people in as well as what is done what he done. If you blame him for that, but there's always positives to everything. Anyway, that's our 60 questions finished. That was a great one. I like the way that ended. Did you want to? Is there anything we haven't asked you that you wanted to cover about the game or about how people can get involved? Call to action or?
We don't have a fucking call to action. I have to write to the guys. Oh shit! Knights Grimoire, what we can say? Okay, let's do some call to action. I don't know. Knights Grimoire. Come to us to kill the goblins, or I don't know.
You can do like an outro and saying this is being Gamer Galaxie.
Yes!
You can play Knights Grimoire through either going to this website, plugging in your MetaMask, and if you buy any NFTs from the Immutable or the Wearable website, you can play with them in the game right now. Blah blah blah. Is that good?
Like yes.
Is there anything else you want to add to that? Or you can do it. Actually, take it away. Show me how it's done.
Okay. Just a quick recap, right?
Sure.
Okay, lovely. So Knights Grimoire is a RPG game built on Immutable X, supporting multi-chain. You are a knight and you have a lot of friends that you have to discover around, or if you are lazy, you can collect directly on the marketplace with amazing skins. participate to weekly prizes, leaderboards. It's a play to earn. Soon we will implement also tokens that will be inside the game. So be there for because we will remember you. And yes, participate to discover new people, new words, and new events, new Grimos, and a lot of stuff. Like,
Nice.
so welcome to Knights Grimoire, powered by Gamers Galaxie. Pew, 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 pew.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming on. Thanks for coming on the show, Ted. Appreciate it, mate. We'll go play Knights Grimoire, people, and thanks for you telling us
yeah,
more
no
about it.
worries. Yeah, you can cut also on the sample voice of Gamers Galaxie and use it for in the future if you want it. I'll give you my approval.
Awesome. Thanks, Ted. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on today. Okay, that was Knights Grimoire with Ted, and I have to say right off the bat, this interview, I was laughing so much. You guys probably heard me laughing. I actually muted myself several times because I was laughing so hard. What an interesting character. Absolutely hilarious. I liked his sense of humor and his style. Boy, this is a very, very interesting game that's off the radar. Very pixely. I was thinking kind of Zelda, but now that he talked about it, it's a free-to-play RPG and you're a knight. He was talking about it being kind of Pokemon-ish and Dark Soul. I didn't put those pieces together. What was your thoughts on that, Rubik?
Well, yeah. So my thoughts were, what a quirky guy. No offense, each their own. And quirky is not in my country is not a negative way of calling someone. It's actually quirky people are quite interesting to be around. So, I just thought it could be good to go out and have a few beers with him.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. So here's some stories and just a very interesting. He's quite forthcoming with opinions. So that could get interesting. I'm like that as well, so we'd probably clash on some opinions.
Oh, I would pay to watch that. I would pay to watch that.
But in terms of the game, seems like a degen that's like loves crypto and fallen in love with it, and is like can see that obviously gaming's the best. He said 3 billion gamers. He sees an opportunity, and instead of buying a car and a house, he's invested in this game, and he's got sounds like a really passionate old school gamer on board. So it seems like more of an RPG, like a Dungeons and Dragons style RPG with real traditional, kind of like medieval fantasy characters. You control, and then chuck in a Pokemon for you to be able to carry like your creatures. I can't remember what he called it. Companions, and then and you can run around killing things. In different events and in different scenarios, but real pixelated kind of top-down kind of view. I've seen pictures of it. I actually haven't played it yet, even though I've got characters and I've got access to the game. Yeah, no, it was interesting. Like, it just seems like someone that's just made some good money out of crypto and gone, let's have a swing at this fun bit. So I really appreciate that.
He's a fashion designer, which that hit my ears because you get a lot of artists from all different spectrums that come into this space and take their talents into this space. He's not a dev guy, as he very hilariously put it. He was talking about Buzz being the guy, and very interesting story. One thing I did notice on their white paper, I've never seen someone do this before. They month by month have a roadmap all the way through January of 2026. I mean, you talk about wanting to hit objectives and mapping it out for all to see. That kind of blew me away. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. I guess anyone that likes old school fantasy and doesn't care about graphics in the modern age, more about the story and you could imagine some quirky things come out from these guys. That was another interesting discussion answer to the Elon Musk one. It's like you don't get two. There's no two people that says the same thing. It's like
Liar.
we've done about 10 different ones, and they've all been different viewpoints on the guy. So it's kind of that's my favorite question of the pod. I look forward to it each week.
yeah.
See what people got to say.
Not gonna lie, he did kind of bring a tear to my eye when I was, told that Santa Claus was a product of Coca-Cola. I did not know that, so I'm a little depressed now because of that. But I'll get over it.
Well, yeah, mate. Christmas is not a religious event. People can call it if they want, but I've always known that it's not Jesus' birthday.
Right.
The number one reason why is that the getting called to go to Jerusalem or whatever it was in December the 25th is the middle of winter, and it would just kill people. So when Jesus was born, he had to make that trek to Jerusalem, and they couldn't have done it in the winter. So
good to know.
That's
good to
why
know.
He's
Good
not
info.
he's not born anywhere near December.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, good stuff. Definitely gonna keep my eye on it. They got events coming up for it around the holidays, so that's kind of cool. And yeah, I liked what I had to see there. It was a project I definitely want to keep my eye on.
Yeah, the access to the hero, like the things they sell, like $2-3. Gas free on Immutable, so it's like $2-3, not $2-3 plus $5 gas. And it's you can just get in, play with those characters, so they're really cheap, and it's only in alpha state. I thought it was already in beta, but it's actually only in alpha state, so it's not ready yet. The full experience is not ready yet, but you can go in and play now.
Right.
So Knights Grimoire, they're big supporters of Immutable and Loop Ring as well. So all the GME fans out there, your two chains is covered. He's got artwork on Loop Ring as well. So
Nice.
yeah, future integration with Loop Ring and as well potentially, and Immutable at the moment. Cool.
So we're moving on to Dark Frontiers. Man, I gotta say, I was looking at this, 100,000 followers, lots of cool features with it, but like I very focused on PvP. I was surprised they have a trailer out from 2021, and it's 2023 now, so it's been a couple years. They were clearly on the Binance chain at some point. It appears like maybe things. What's that?
They are. They're on Binance at the moment.
I get the feeling things stalled for them, and I'm looking at their game. It does look pretty cool, but like nothing really stood out to me to be like, wow. It just reminded me of another. It reminded me of like Space Fortnite. I don't know if I'm wrong in that. I don't want to be harsh. Nothing blew me away on this one, but they have a lot of good things going for it. Looks like. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I thought they would look pretty good. It's just alpha at the moment. It's not like it's a game that's live and they're now going Immutable, try and sell more NFTs to us. There's like 6 game modes, and they've only got one out at the moment, I believe. So the game update number 11 that they've got on their it's a 3-minute video. It went into some good details, and I mean, look, it's an Unreal Engine game. It looks like, look, copy paste stuff. Like a lot of it looks familiar, if you know what I mean. Unreal Engine 5. We've said this 100 times in this pod, so that's where you're probably seeing it's nothing. What your comment about it's being nothing special, but it's apparently got a huge open world PvE environment, which I think is the most exciting thing about shooters. Because I'm so bad at putting the crosshair over other people, I think getting together and working as a co-op and to fight against PvE monsters in big world battles is exciting. Kind of like Destiny. So they've got that. It's got PvP. They've like 1 versus 1 or 10 versus 10. They've got some really interesting tokenomics that seems like pretty sustainable. But yeah, they're also Shima Capital is big investors in Immutable, and so they've taken some. So that's where it looks like the link to Immutable. They've got backed by Immutable and Shima Capital. Maybe they've run out of money and they've come along, and Shima and Immutable got together and said, "Look, this game's worthwhile." What we've seen so far, and it's getting near release. So maybe they've just helped them get them over the line. There's a lot of projects running out of money, mate. You've seen that. So,
oh yeah.
but I think I'm a little bit more excited than you.
No, I wasn't trying to say it negatively. It's just I've seen so many shooters lately that like
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of numb to them now. So it takes something different. Like the Citizen Conflict really caught my eye, but that's like the only one in a long time that one of those style of shooters has caught my eye. And I'm glad you brought up Shima Capital. Yes, there's definitely some ties with them getting involved with Immutable, and they were with the company that made this game's Game Starter. I seen the video you're talking about. There is some cool things, very cool graphics with the open world. Yeah, you're right. So, I didn't mean to kick it too hard. It just, I don't know. I think I'm just numb to shooters.
We're not sitting here saying bullshit to people just because they're unavailable.
Right.
Like, if you don't like something, say it. I know you're gonna, but no need to. The audience, if you don't like something, we're gonna say it, and that's it. Doesn't just because they're unavailable means nothing. If it's garbage, we're gonna tell you it's garbage. Yep. And look, I don't know. I'm not a big shooter fan, but out of all the shooters I've seen, there's a heap lately. I did think this one had like a little bit of difference to it, like the different suits that you got to collect to be able to go to different zones. So there's another sync. You just don't buy one suit and it works everywhere. You need to buy a suit or create it or build a suit in the game from playing it, and then it gives you access to another zone. I love that about MMOs, where you've got to work towards getting access to a zone where not everyone's equal. And the best players get access to the best zones the hardest zones first, and just gives you I'm an EverQuest baby, so in EverQuest, mate, it took years and years and years to get into zones, like literally years to get into zones, because of the top clans would block you from getting in there by killing everything that you needed to kill to get in there. So I love, and even though I was a tier 2 clan, because we're 2 day a week Aussie clan, straight after the 13 American guilds. So nothing would be alive. So it took us a long time to get there. The sense of achievement of accessing the zone and fighting that mob for the first time that you've had a goal for a year is just so rewarding. And games miss that these days, because World of Warcraft comes out and everyone gets it. You get like a Oprah Winfrey style game. You get one, you get the best suit, you get the best suit. Everyone gets the best suit. So. Right. Yeah, that's why I'm a bit excited about it. I saw it looks like it's gated by performance to do certain things. If they are doing that, I think it got a chance of differentiating itself.
Very cool. Next up, BadMadRobots. I'm going to start off positive here, and then I gotta be real. So. BadMadRobots, 49,000 followers on X. They've also been around since at least August of 2021. Free-to-play, multiplayer shooter, another shooter. This one, the graphic detail and the open world made me say, ooh, that's very pretty. I liked it. It caught my eye right off the bat. So, sick graphics, absolutely love that. But I couldn't find any good video of gameplay. I don't know what they're doing. Very hard to find information on them. And the one major red flag that I came across, they have a token. I think it's called Metal. It's been out for a while. There's like no volume on it. At one point, it shot up to 25 cents. Now it's sitting at 0.0004 of a penny. It's really weird that they have a token out and like there's no volume. They've been around for a couple years, so no videos on YouTube. Weird that you got a token and nothing's going on it except for this one moment where it shot up to 25 cents. So I got a little red flag about it. But man, if somebody could find me some gameplay on this thing, the graphics look sick. I need more info. Need more info. Need more gameplay.
Yeah. I don't have much more to add to that other than there's not much information on it, to be honest with you, on the game. The graphics that on the screenshots, the one just came out 20 hours ago. I don't know if you saw those. They look sick, like real crisp graphics. Like they've modified the Unreal Engine just a little bit to have a unique feel. Same with Dark Frontiers. They've got like they're not as crisp as graphics, but they've got their real dark style graphics on it. But it's still has that Unreal Engine feel. This one looks like it could have its unique kind of feel to it. But they were called Drunk Robots. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. I seen that. So they rebranded
did
at some point.
Did you see why?
No, well, it was somebody.
It's because like it's got something to do with advertising and like the word drunk and the regulation stuff they have to go through because of the word drunk in their title.
That's what I was thinking.
It's just like, they're just like, this is too hard. Let's get out.
I was wondering.
Too hard basket.
I seen the rebrand. I was like, oh, someone must have had a problem with that name.
Yeah. So, I mean, it'll be interesting, mate. Like it's games take a long time to build. So, you know, they're bringing a token out back in the good days and make a pretty penny out of it. They've got the funding to finish their game, and they're not going to worry about the token until the game releases. So I can understand people put different efforts into different things. They got the money, though. Like, look at Pixelmon. They got $70 million, and I'm pretty sure they don't give a crap about anything other than building their game now. You know, the guy that milked it got kicked out, and, you know, the Fiverr art and that. And they brought real people in to manage that game, and they're just building a really quality game. And I could see them. I've only found out. I didn't know about these guys until Immutable. So
right.
Maybe they're doing the similar thing. They made their money out of the token, they got their funding, and they're just building. And when it's ready, they'll come out and they'll have tokenomics. So
yeah. Next up, so I've been a little harsh on the first two. This next one, boy, this one, I'm not a big TCG fan. I mean, I don't really play a lot of trading card games, just not my thing, but this one caught my eye. The level of detail on the NFTs was absolutely amazing. The board on which the trading card games is amazing looking with the animations. I'm talking about Storm Warfare, 33,000 followers.
Did you, before you go on,
no, go ahead.
A disclaimer here. There's a disclaimer on this one. So no, they have not announced that they're building on Immutable. There was another guy, an Immutable hero, that said they are. And I asked him in the chat, how do you know that? And he's like, oh, I don't 100% know. So I did some research. The only thing is what I've seen is that they're a Polygon game, but then they've announced that they're building on a Polygon chain. A Polygon-based chain. So that would mean Zkevm, not their proof of stake.
Okay.
But it could mean OKX's new chain, or Asta, who's that Japanese. They're huge. Their proof of stake or whatever chain they've got, they've moved to ZK. They've built a CDK Polygon chain, the same as Immutable. That's Genso Kishi's going to them as well as Immutable. So there's no guarantee they're coming to Immutable, but I did see someone say something about Passport in their chat as well, and they didn't deny it as well. So yeah, it's not an official announcement yet, but I'm 95% certain they're coming to Immutable.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for the info. Yeah, it's like I said, the optics of this just look amazing. I watched planes dropping bombs on cards. That was pretty cool. You could see the cards actually firing. Oh, what did I say?
Yeah, so the animations were great. Yeah.
Yeah, animations were great. They had a 5-day challenge over Christmas. They had a prize pool of $40,000. Now, I want to be clear that they did that in their own token. So while that does sound awesome, and it is, it's conjured up money. I gotta call it what it is. So
did you play? Do you have a dig?
No, it's conjured up money. You know, if you're using your own token, you know, when I first seen it, I was like, oh my gosh, they're giving away 40K, and they're doing it in their own token. It's not wrong. It's just it's not exactly you're pulling out of your own pocket, but still, it's a cool giveaway. You know.
So I found out about it, and I was busy over Christmas and stuff, and I go, you know what, I'm going to give this TCG a go, and played it, and downloaded it, installed it, and I saw that, going for the tournament and all this stuff, and so yeah, I'll give it a go. I've got a couple, probably, so on the day after Christmas or something, and what day it was, I had some time to play the game with my son and all that, being asleep for once, and yeah. I missed it by an hour, the competition.
Oh, no.
Downloaded it, sat down, ready to spend the day playing it to see if I could get into the top, to the prize pool, and then, missed it by an hour.
How was the gameplay? I'm sure you played a little bit, right?
Yeah. It feels like a TCG. They got a huge audience, man. Like their chat's just like bloody ninja streaming on Twitch, mate. It's just like non-stop in their Discord. They've got heaps of like in their Telegram as well. It's constantly going. It's like they've built up amazing community for it. It just feels like another TCG to me. Like, but very crisp, very real scenario. People like wars, so it's a good scenario. You know, like there's lots of war-based games, board games, and that. You know, like I love those World War II board games. You can get like the real deep ones. I used to play them with some friends. So I think it's got a huge audience because there's a lot of people like war, and the animations are amazing. The gameplay is really balanced. It felt really good to play. But I'm a Gods Unchained player, and it doesn't feel too different to that. If you just change the pictures, you know what I mean? Like it's the same, you know, defense, attack, the same. You play one card, get a new one each turn. You know, you got your mana goes up each turn. You know, from 1 to 2 to next turn 3, then 4.
Okay.
So it's sort of like just different brand. So
Gotcha.
You know, but the theme is really cool. The graphics are better than Gods Unchained, and you know, it plays really well already. You know, like you said, the bombs and that going off on the different. And there's 200 maps to play on.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, they're not mucking around. And I think they if they do come to Immutable, they're another one that doesn't need Immutable to market for them to be successful. You know, like it's you know, you're hearing this. I might talk about that later on. But
they
you know.
boy, you talked about that they don't need to come to Immutable for their marketing on their channel. They've got some very high quality editing skills. I can tell they've got some pros on their team, or they've hired out somebody to do their promotional videos. It's very good stuff. I noticed that too. I look for that stuff. But yeah, very cool. I do hope they come to Immutable. Any final thoughts on this game?
Like, if you like warfare and a good balanced game that seems to be, you know, like well balanced and fun, it's another. Looks like it'll be a play to earn game, so you'll be able to earn money playing it. For those people that play for that reason, I think they're going to be successful if they're on Immutable or not. If they come to Immutable with Passport, then obviously that's going to give them huge advantage, and that should be out soon because it felt really crisp already.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're moving on to our next topic. This was a big announcement. I don't know if people really realized how big this is, but gas-free gaming. Robbie came out and said it. There's really not, from my point of view, there's not much to say. Gas-free is good. It sounds to me like the teams, the teams that are doing the games, they're going to be paying it. It's not going to be a whole lot, but they're going to pay it so the customers don't have to. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, this is huge. Like I actually went into the Discord and I can't remember who I was talking to, but I was talking to one of the employees of Immutable saying, "Are we building like features?" Like, it might have been Inga, when D'Souza and I interviewed months and months ago. Said like, are there cool features coming? They're going to compete with these gas-free chains, and Swee's got these new things that are really cool about privacy. If you want to have things hidden, you can turn hidden on so that so it doesn't ruin the game. Because like things being on chain, people go like, what happens in Gods Unchained? People look at my name, they go to my Gods Unchained page and see what decks I've been playing. They see that I played the same deck for the last 50 games ago. They can look at my deck and see exactly what I've got. So that's my problem because I can't be bothered changing my deck. I'm not that high a rank to care about hiding anything. But there's that kind of issue with blockchain. So this is the number one for me. The reason I don't know about you, but me definitely love Immutable is because its current chain is gas free.
Right.
It just creates such an easy process. You don't have to worry about nothing. I can sell an NFT for 1 cent and I don't have to pay $2 gas. I could sell, or even 2 cents gas. What's the point of selling a 1 cent NFT if it's 2 cents gas? It's not worth it. So it just makes any cost of an NFT worthwhile selling. If you've got 1,000 of them, that's 1,000 cents, $100.
Yeah.
So
no, I like what you said about the user experience. It is it's such a big factor. We'll talk more about this later, but they're trying to get the masses here. But if you get the masses here and the user experience sucks, you're dead in the water. So yes,
Yeah.
user experience is such a key point to nail down.
Yeah. So there's a lot of points about Immutable's blockchain that make this gas free, but developers having to pay for it, not that big a deal, because it's like, apparently it's going to be, if you design, like, so if you combine, they built this tool to let you do 100 mints for the price of one.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you do 1 mint, it normally costs like, what, $3? Like, you can batch mint. So if you can do that, a batch mint, then you can get away with being less than 1 cent. And sorry, you use batch minting and you use efficient design. Like, with any software you build, you have to, efficiency of your tools is a factor as a developer. Like, there's always the infrastructure people looking at ways to cut costs of AWS bills. That's the same. So you're looking to design efficiently, so that you design your ecosystem, or your tools and your code, so it sits efficiently on all the cost structures. And there's no difference with blockchain. So they're saying if you design well with Immutable, it can cost less than a cent per user per month.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like very much. It doesn't sound like very much. What, maybe, what, a couple $100 a month, maybe? If you're big, right?
It's for every 100,000 users, it's $838 a month if you design well. So
Okay.
just say you're bad at designing it, and it's triple that. $3,000 a month for 100,000 users, that's nothing, mate. If you can't extract $3,000, your AWS fees for 100,000 users is going to be more than that.
Right.
Like, and blockchain replaces the AWS fees. So
not to beat this dead horse, but like, I could see this happening. Let's say one of these companies, these game companies, let's say they do really well, and they're racking up some fees, but they're bringing in a lot of volume to IMX. Who's to say? And I don't have any inside information. I don't know what IMX is going to do, but let's say, hey, you guys are killing it. We're going to cover your fees for you this month or something like that. I could see that happening. Incentivized volume participation, maybe. Which, do you think Immutable might do something like that? Possibly. We're speculating, by the way.
No, yeah. I think so. But if you think about it, like how our game's designing at the moment, they're designing the Web 2.5 model, where you can play across the ages right now for free with free cards, and they're not NFTs, and you play the game against NFT players.
Right.
It does not cost cross the ages a blockchain fee ever, even if they had to pay on Immutable. They're not using the blockchain. So you ultimately 100,000 blockchain users is what it's going to charge for, and blockchain users are going to pay. They're going to want to own their things. So the freeloaders are going to play the Web 2 models, and then the freeloaders aren't coming to Web 3, mate. They're never coming to Web 3. A game where you either miss out if you don't spend, or you need to spend to get in. Like, they don't pay in free-to-play model games. I've got so many mates that play free-to-play games and never play Dota. I've got a mate that's played Dota for 10 years, man. He's never ever spent a cent on it, ever. Like, it's $10 for the battle pass to add all these extra fun games here, and he just doesn't care. He doesn't pay a cent.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not going to come all of a sudden come to the blockchain and go, oh, just because I own stuff, I'm going to pay for it. These are the people that don't understand, or how NFT. They're the ones that don't understand how NFT gaming will ever work, because they don't spend a cent themselves. They're looking at it from their perspective, and they're like, I'm never going to spend any money. Blockchains are a scam. I'm not going to. Why would I go there and be forced to pay money? Where I am now, I pay nothing. Right. So, anyway, the key is Immutable is actually going to pay for the sponsorship at the start. So when a game comes up to speed, Immutable is going to sponsor it for the first 3 months. I think it is. So to get them up to speed, and then after that they have to take over. But if you get up to 5 million players and your bill's $100,000, like, you're probably going to be raking in millions of dollars anyway to be able to cover it. But you might be right. If Immutable thinks it's worthwhile.
What a great marketing tool. Gas free, man. And we've hey, did you know that Avalanche had a spike in gas fees that got kind of ridiculous? I wonder if Paul's okay. We should probably check on him.
Inscriptions.
Yeah, exactly. But
Paul
go ahead.
Paul would be happy, mate. Paul would be happy now, even though he's a eggplant head. He's he, he's like Solana's pumping pretty hard, mate.
Oh
It's,
yeah.
it's the new kid on the block, isn't it? It's the cool kids hangout joint now.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be interesting, mate. Like, it'd be interesting to see if Solana does 100k TPS now, mate. And we'll talk about the TPS of Immutable later on, but it's nowhere near that.
Yeah, they're definitely making some noise, and I have no qualms against them making noise. Good for them. It's they're making everybody, but by them doing what they're doing, they're forcing other people to have to step up their game to compete, and that's a good thing for the space overall. So I'm all about that.
Before you move on, I wanted to just say one thing. Like, Immutable is not the first gas-free, or I think they're the first gaming gas-free chain. Well, they're the first gas-free chain, yes, that I believe they were. I don't know of any others, like their StarkX implementation. There's other chains now that do it, like Myria. They copied the Immutable StarkX account. They do the exact same thing as Immutable StarkX.
Oh.
And there's Scale Network that's starting to come up, win some games because they're
okay.
I don't know how the model works. I believe it's sponsorship. They pay the game pays for like a server space, just like an AWS server. I believe that's how it works. So you can see them gaslighting on Twitter every day about how they're the greatest, fastest, all those stats that don't really matter, but somehow that's the reason they're going to win. So there's a fair few chains that are AVAX can be gas free on their subnets. So it's not easy, it's not cheap for the game developer to do that either. I think the biggest advantage is the cheapness of Zkevm to Immutable Zkevm to a gas sponsor. That's the game changer here, where it's so cheap to sponsor the gas on an EVM chain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's thousands.
Solana or Sui.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, if you're on Solana or Sui or maybe Aptos as well. I don't know what Aptos fees are, but like their fees are really cheap and they're not profitable yet. So it'd be interesting to see how they survive.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen them about their profitability. It's kind of crazy that they have all those transactions and they're not making a whole lot compared to like Ethereum. Gods Unchained, they are back on the Epic Game Store. They were on it. It got kicked off because of terms of service, which was, I kind of laughed at it, the situation. And now they're back on, and I just got to say, one, I'm super glad. It's awesome for the Gods Unchained community. It's awesome for Immutable. But at the speed at which that was resolved, I'm smelling a little Ferguson factor kicked in here. What's your thoughts on this?
It's not a little Ferguson factor. It's 100% Ferguson factor. Immutable did the negotiations for the whole entire industry. So what the simple breakdown is that Epic Games doesn't allow adults only content on their platform, and Immutable, when they got kicked off for Gods Unchained and a couple other games, approached Epic Games and said, "Can you create an AO adults only like whitelist for crypto games?" And showed them all the laws, talked them through the legals, and got them to come on side and allow crypto games to be that have play and earn capabilities, so you can earn tokens to be listed on the store. And once again, all the influencers, the sinfluencers on Twitter, when they never ever mentioned Immutable when that happened. It's all Immutable, and not one of them said due to Immutable's negotiation. Even though one of the people I gave the news to, I even wrote the shortest possible the news article out for them with that fact, and they took it out and never mentioned Immutable.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what it is, mate.
Criminal.
I don't know. I just don't understand. Like, why? Why do these people, like, it's so obvious that they don't want Immutable to win. Some of them, not everyone, of course. It's just so obvious, man. Like, you obviously have bags somewhere else and you're willing to work subtly like that to just not give the light to the people that deserve it based on your bags. That's what it is.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, our good friend that lives rent free in your head, Paul, he put a tweet out about Gods Gods Unchained being chained when they got kicked
I was
off.
chained.
And he tagged, he hit like every tag on Immutable possible, every hashtag. It's been a few days since I checked because I've been super busy with life. I haven't seen a retraction or a mention about how they are back on, or anything positive about it. That's kind of weird how that works.
Yeah. Anyway.
What are you gonna do? When you're the best, sometimes you get some haters. But good news. More good news coming from IMX. The passport is out, so it's going on testnet, or I'm sorry, not testnet, mainnet now, right?
It's. I thought it might be on mainnet, but maybe, but it's awesome news. It's working from Gods Unchained, which is just a login.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had 2 games, W2E, which is that betting, Bleacher Report, like like your trivia, and you can get tokens for trivia at right questions.
Mm-hmm.
In America only, I believe. So I can't play it. I did actually put my what's it called, my Surfshark on, and it let me go in and have a look at it for the first time. Might have to have a go at this, but what's the point? I'm not gonna,
Right.
Anyway, I did actually find a bug in the golf game and reported it. And
Black-Eat Golf, you're talking about?
Black-Eat Golf, yeah. That was a real surprise. That was not announced. I knew they were coming to Immutable. They were on Flow. And it's the Black-Eat, W2E. There's a few other games as well. SimWin as Warner Brothers Discovery. That's the parent company. So Immutable's kind of like got that relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery, and it's brought that Black-Eat game over. And it was a little surprise. I played the tutorial, but then it wanted me to log in as Immutable, and I found some bugs. And after you do the tutorial, it asked you to log in as through Immutable Passport, and there was bugs which I discovered, and I reported them. And then an hour later, the application came down. So they said thanks for that report. It was pretty much something they implemented something wrong, which shouldn't take too long to fix. It should be back up. So they've taken that game down. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, very cool. I had never heard of Black-Eat Golf. I had never heard of BR Watch to Earn. I did look into it. Yeah, very cool concept. Sports trivia, and you can earn. That's piqued my interest. I'm going to dive more into it. They only got like 600-700 followers, which blew me away. But from if it's legit, and I think it is, they've got some like heavy hitters tied to this with the like several sports franchise and an interesting.
Shaq?
What's that?
I'm pretty sure Shaq is involved. I'm pretty sure Shaq's involved in it.
Yeah, definitely some NBA influencers in there for sure.
Like he's the guy that asked the questions. I've seen him ask the questions.
Yeah, I got to dive more in this project. It definitely piqued my interest. I just seen it last night because you sent me the message, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I dove a little bit into it. I got to give a shout out to NFT News. They had a really good article about this with the passport, and they're talking about Gods Unchained, Black-Eat Golf, BR Watch to Earn, Token Trove, and Atomic Hub. These applications boast a combined user base exceeding 500,000. That number jumped out at me. What, you think that's legit, that number?
Because of Token Trove, yeah. So Token Trove is just a marketplace. Atomic Hub and Token Trove is a marketplace. So anyone that uses Token Trove at all, which is the number one, more people use Token Trove than the Immutable. Immutable's own marketplace, because Immutable's own marketplace, as we've said before, is very underdeveloped deliberately, and Token Trove is the one that's the most developed and had the most love, first out, all that kind of stuff. So you could easily have 500,000 users on it. Are they all using Passport? I doubt that. So it'll be interesting to see, one game that will, I believe, blow up that's already got Passport incorporated, because I play the game. It's WAGMI. It's listed in upcoming games. Mm-hmm. It's like a Clash Royale, not Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, the card game where you have your waves of people. It's aliens versus humans, and it's it's just fun, little fun games. 3 minutes. I just love playing it. I play it every day. And my cards, just build my cards up and get them for free. It costs me nothing at the moment. I might put some money into it. I was thinking about buying one of the last packs they've got, but they're selling it on bloody Ethereum, and I just can't be bothered getting the gas together to have to pay for it. So. I don't know. So I have to get Ethereum onto my MetaMask, pay the gas to get it there, then have to buy the item, pay the gas for it, and then have to burn the pack, which I'm assuming pays for gas as well. So three loads of gas just to buy a pack, mate. For what? On a good day, it's $15. On a normal day, it's $40. On a bad day, it's $150. So, why would I spend that money? I don't understand why these games deploy on, especially when you burn the pack, they send the cards to your Immutable passport. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, that blows me away. That blows me away. It's like, why are we doing this?
Man, I just don't understand, man. I don't understand it. But it's it's really mate. Seriously, if you go back, I don't know if it was with D'Souza or you when I said that I was talking about wallets and these social login wallets and how they're not the be all end all, but Passport will be. Mm-hmm. Were you on that chat? It was about 2 months ago or a month ago.
Yeah, I think I remember it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And WagMe was one of them. I ran through this massive like A4 sheet of paper step by step to create my wallet, this magic wallet, and connect it, and it didn't connect, and I couldn't sell my cards. So what happened was I logged in one day, and it made me log into to Passport, and I went to them and said, into their Discord and said, "Hey, I'm logging in by Passport, but it's not linked my account." And he goes, "What's your email address?" I gave him my email address, and he goes, "Check it now." In literally 5 minutes, they reburnt all my cards that were in my old account into my Passport, and I now start playing with Passport. I log in to Atomic Hub, chuck in my Passport as the login rather than my MetaMask, and bam, there's all the cards easy to sell right now. Didn't have to do anything at all. Like that is exactly what I was saying. What Passport's going to solve. Yes. I did not have to do it. Now, anyone that plays the game now, when the game's in beta, it's out in New Zealand now. So if you're in New Zealand, you can download it. You have to play with Passport. There's no other way. You log in, you create a Passport account, you get that gets created on your email address or whatever, Google, Apple, or an email address, and then you can log into any marketplace and sell your cards without having to do that A4 spreadsheet and follow instructions on how to get it into a wallet. Even though before it was always a social login, now it's Passport. It's so easy, man. It literally is game changing, and it's not just talking about going to be. It is. It is actual game changing already. It's amazing. People don't understand how much this is going to win for Immutable. It's going to be the crown jewel in their arsenal of why games will build on them and why they've been winning. Smart games are seeing that this tool is going to be a game changer, and now games are going to see how much of a game changer it is from this point on. When Zkevm launches in January, and games start to come out with this Passport, it's just over. It's just so good.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the Passport, just for the ease of use, user experience, and I'm also very excited to see what they evolve it into. We've had conversations about that, and now we're going to move back to Immutable news with the senior architect at ImX talks Zkevm Tech. It's the latest, it's the greatest. Rubik, you're going to have to help me out with this techie stuff, as this is your niche.
I don't think this is even too technical for me, to be honest with you. I did a fair bit of research on it to come up to speed with things, because it was quite technical. It's not something you can write in a layman's term that well. It's very complicated stuff that they're building, but I'll give you some of my takeaways. Again, as I said, this is written for developers, not for us. So this is like a blog for games developers that are choosing a chain. That's who would be reading this. Mm-hmm. And the technical expert on the team that knows the most about blockchain that would help input to what chain to use would be interested in this information. But again, the Zkevm, ultimately the message was scalability and performance. The three core issues that they need to solve are scalability and performance, regulations, and developer experience. They're the three areas that they feel they needed to build Zkevm to solve those problems completely. In scalability and performance is stability and security. So, as well as so have it scalable, but also maintain security and maintain stability. In the regulations, I don't know. They didn't explain how that this Zkevm solves the regulation issues. Not sure if you picked up on that anywhere.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know how it's going to solve it either, but I like that they put that up there because that's been a big concern of mine for the entire space is regulations, and that's like their second point of after performance is regulations, and
Hold up.
how does
I
that
think I do. I
exactly
do think I
work?
know how.
Okay, yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I'll get there in a second.
Okay.
But it's regarding whitelist and blacklist. So,
Mm.
um, so yeah.
You talk
But I
about from
thought
maybe sort of a geofencing sort of application, maybe.
more like Tornado Cache that's sanctioned. So they'll blacklist Tornado Cache's address, so no one can use Tornado Cache from Immutable. Things like that. Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Examples like that, and anything like skimming, any fraud, kind of fraudulent kind of contracts that try to build. Like you look at permissionless stuff, Immutable's permissionless, but it's not great because it's API driven. It's not a typical blockchain contract. You can't write a contract. You can only hit their APIs. So it'd be very hard to write some fraudulent thing on there without it, like being exposed. But yeah. So the other thing, the dev experience, maturity and ease of building on the chain and maturity of the chain. So EVM was the decision there. Obviously, they're big believers in Ethereum. I wonder if that will always be the case. It looks like there's a chance that it's Solana joining up with the big boys. We'll see. So equivalency. We've talked about this before. It's the fact that it works on Ethereum as well as Zkevm. So that was one of the biggest drivers for them. Single block finality. So lots of chains obviously have different styles with this. It's every 2 seconds that its finality is, and once it's final, there's no changing it. So it got quite complicated about this, the problems they've got to solve around this.
Right.
It seems like one of the things I read from the article is that it's a bare bone skeleton kind of build at the moment. What they're going to launch with, and they've got lots of problems still to solve. Like, so they've got a single sequencer, which has got its faults that it's risky, but they've got huge experience with that already, and they've and by having multiple sequences, that they're the thing that decide what's getting sent to the chain. You've got 2 or 3 people with these validators, these sequences, that they can cause that finality to be in a bad state because they're not in the same page and things like that. So there's a fair bit about that and the complexity of having to build this chain without it being solved yet by the looks of it. So I kind of think, well, you kind of showed your card here and said that you're not really mature yet, but we'll see. The core of it, though, is that they've got security is there once again throughout the whole article. It's all about security. They've got a few third parties to come in and do things for them as well.
Right.
So like RPC from QuickNode, and also they talked about the bridge. I'll get to that in a second, actually. The whitelist. So what are the benefits of having the blacklist and the whitelist is you can sanction addresses, you can comply with regulations, and also the blacklist, you can turn, if someone's a DDoS attacking you or other kind of attacks, you can from the same IP address, you can just turn that, not the IP, from the same contract, you can just blacklist that. If someone's flooding your network with junk, you can just turn it off. Although, especially when you get the gas is sponsored. And it's free, so you need the ability to turn that off and rate limit things. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, absolutely. This is just triggering off things in my head right now. So I'm sure you're familiar with Tether, the stable coin, very, very popular. It's number 3 on total market cap. They want to be compliant, and there's been a lot of mystique and drama around Tether for forever, as long as I can remember. And they own a lot of U.S. treasuries now. They want to be compliant. So there was a hack recently, and I can't remember the dollar amount, but it was a significant amount. And the community said, hey, there's this hack, and Tether was able to freeze the stable coin of their Tether on that wallet so it couldn't be moved. And they're doing that to be compliant because the governments are mandating it or want it to happen. And, that's Immutable X. They want to be compliant. They want to be in the good graces of the powers that be. And they're putting in the infrastructure, it seems like, to make that happen. And if I'm hearing what you're saying.
Yeah, but they've also putting in infrastructure that if they can't control once you're on their platform, so they can put your, if something breaks, like a sequencer or something like that, you can force a contract to get your stuff onto Ethereum. So compliant to a degree, but I don't think to that level where they can control your items like Tether can, by the sounds of it. So.
Oh, okay. So I was wrong about that. To be clear, I was wrong about that.
No.
I don't want to put any unnecessary foot on Immutable. That's what it sounded like to me.
No. They can stop you from. They can by this blacklisting thing. I guess they can, but it's not for that. It's for bad actors that are going to come in and. But you're right there, actually. Thinking about it again, if an individual your own wallet can be blacklisted as well potentially. I was thinking more from the contract point of view that the contract would be blacklisted, not the actual wallet itself, which is.
Yeah, let's be clear, though. Immutable's not going to go around and just be freezing people's wallets just for the heck of it. This is for scenarios where, okay, there was something done wrong. It's clear as day. We need to lock this down. And I'm just speculating if they can do it. I'm not technical enough to know this stuff. I'm just going off of what you're saying, and I'm putting pieces together. So,
I actually changed my mind from what you had a bit of a light bulb moment after what you said, and when I said. And realize that maybe you're right, that they probably could potentially, if they can blacklist any wallet, any address, they could blacklist the wallet as well potentially. So yeah, we'd have to look into that a little bit more. But what they have built, which I'll get throughout the document, is redundancy, and if no single point of failures, if something happens with, with their stuff, if the sequences get breaks or hacked, or someone maliciously attacks something, there's alternative ways to get your stuff off their chain back onto Ethereum without them, which is quite interesting. They're working on a fair few things around that. So they're big believers in this decentralization side of it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The biggest issue I found from this document was the single sequencer and the challenges they're going to have to make it more than one. There's a huge amount of coding and trial and error and building, because with one sequencer, you can just guarantee what you're sending is the right thing. But when you've got, say, Google, QuickNode and Immutable, and you and I get lucky and get given one, how can Immutable guarantee that us four are not creating bad blocks? We're sending the right message at the right time. You know what I mean? We could be out of whack, or we could contradict each other with our sequences and stuff like that. So they had a lot of problems to solve with that, but still, that's what I took away from it. Which I'm sorry, I'll finish off this point.
No, go.
I'm not really technically strong around blockchain like this. I know code and get the general gist of coding, from being a developer. But I kind of what I do is very niche, and it's not as broad as to fully understand how the blockchain exactly works, to be honest with you. So I might be wrong with these things.
I got what I could understand what you were saying. So I think you're laying it out there. I get what you're saying, and I just you said something earlier about that they openly admitted that they're not mature yet. You know what, man? Nobody is. Solana, who's the hot new crave right now, they just came out with their fired answer, which I don't quite understand how that solves everything yet. I'm trying to learn as I go with what limited time I have. But they just came out with that, and I'll tell you right now, if let's say, we'll just go with this is a low number. Let's say 10 million people just showed up and started using transactions all the time on their network. I'm willing to bet it's going to get bogged down and they're going to have issues because they're not used to having that ongoing flow all the time. Every single chain has been having that issue. They tout, oh, we're the fastest, we can handle high TPS. And when they talk about high TPS, most chains are talking about anywhere from 10 to 100,000. Now, when you get into multi-millions, it's a whole different ballgame. And I don't think anybody's solved that yet. So while you're saying that they're not mature yet, I don't think anybody else is either. But they're working on it and they're being public about it.
Yeah, I think I don't know what this fight answer is. I assume it's what's it called when you do 2 transactions at once? You're not just doing them all one after the other on the code
Right.
base, so you can do multiple at once. And so that's the TPS is solved on Immutable. It's solved on AVAX because you can just spin up a new environment that creates a double. So you've got one ZKVM, you can quite easily just spin up another one and have 2 ZKVMs. So you now all of a sudden got double the throughput that you can handle.
Right.
So for example, Ubisoft's game comes out, it's Assassin's Creed MMO. Imagine that. That's what they're building. There's 100 million people want to play the game. They probably spin up 3 ZKVMs complete, and so they're linked together in terms of compatibility, but in terms of throughput and running transactions, they're completely unique and individual. So you could just run them. You can spin up as many as you need to do that. That's, and same with AVAX does that as well. So
Gotcha.
TPS is solved, but it's not solved. It's still immature to do
Right.
that. Yeah, so it looks like the transfer speeds at the moment on ZKVM is 714. So the TPS, for example, StarkX can do 18,000 transactions per second, transfer transactions. I'm not sure if I'm getting confused with the word transfer as the same transfer. Like if you know how you do a transfer or you do you're just changing the exact same, the wallet address for that bit of data. That's all it is. You're not writing new data. You're just saying this 10 tokens is now in this, out of this wallet and in this wallet. So StarkX is 9,000 TPS on normal transactions, but transfers it's 18,000. So it's quite low. I was surprised by that number. It's only 714. I think Ethereum's 3 or 4 or 5 or something like that, or 15. So it's 714 times. It's 714 transfers to one. The one Ethereum transfer, ZKM could do 714. So that's because it's equivalent. And what this document doing is they're working on bigger brain stuff to bring ZK to keep the equivalency and to speed it up. And that's where optimistic roll-ups are locked at their capabilities. They've got to come up with all these unique kind of things where they've hit their maximums. They're at 4,000, I think it is, TPS, or 4,500. And for them to do more than that, they have to do the things like I just said, create new environments and spin them up and like that. But ZKVM is just starting. They will get to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 transactions a second and remain Ethereum equivalent in the future. So this is ZKVM equivalency is very, very new. That's what I took out from this document. I took that away. Also, some other last things on it. I know we've been going on for a while, but it's pretty important stuff. When the ZKVM gets busy, they can change gas prices to increase the gas, but they're only going to do 2% swings on price, so that people don't feel like that their game is to keep it similar cost for everyone.
But but that's going to the game developers though, so that's not going to be slowing people down because they won't be paying for it, right? Or am I hearing that wrong?
No, this is like the ZKVM prices. If they sponsor, because the games don't have to sponsor, but if they do sponsor, it'll be users.
Okay.
If they don't sponsor the users, if they do sponsor, it'll be them. And pretty sure they're going to sponsor every single one of them. It'd be crazy not to. Anyway, so the developer will be hit with a cost. So instead of some developers getting hit with huge costs and some hardly any, because by chance the way they've designed it's worked out, they're going to try and smooth it out with just a 2% variation, I believe. But also the gas token can be changed on Immutable Zkevm, so that if, say for example, right now it's $2 for token of ImX, so it's like 2 cents. What happens if the token goes to $20,000? Like it's going to be $200 a transaction. Actually, they can change the Immutable can adjust the price of the gas as well, so that it remains low.
So correct me if I'm wrong here. I might be wrong, but if that was the case, these games could go to that. I forget what it's called, but it works like a layer 3 to where they can have their own economy separate of the IMX token with their own token. But when they go to roll it up, it'll roll up into the chain above it. Am I off on that, or is that a possibility to eliminate a problem?
That token will relay into Immutable token. So when they have their own token to pay for gas, which is now pretty obsolete because it's gas free, there's no much point doing that, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm pretty certain that the app chains that it will relay into IMX to pay in IMX.
Yeah, but isn't that a great way to, let's say, I mean, we're just speculating here. We're not saying it's going to 20,000, but let's say IMX did go to 20,000 token and the fees got to be crazy. Couldn't they sidestep that by, hey, let's make our own token underneath it, or am I thinking about that wrong?
No, I don't think they can do that. The Immutable Zkevm's gas token is IMX on all their chains.
Okay.
If you pay for it in gods, what's just happening under the hood is converting it into IMX without you knowing. But it's gas free. Since that model is gas free, so there's no point doing like this. Developers paying anyway, so what does it matter? They're just going to be buying IMX tokens and paying it in IMX. So just
ignore me. I'm a Neanderthal.
I might be wrong. I may be wrong, mate, on this. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm not 100% certain.
What else you got?
I'm nearly at the end. I'm not nearly at the end with this one. I'm sorry, mate. The next
fine.
one I haven't got much on, so I spent a lot of time researching this. So yeah, the consensus mechanism, the Byzantine, I can't remember a fault, I can't read my own writing. So this is that thing I was telling you about with the 4 different sequences being out of whack, and that there's a fair bit about that and how much trouble that is going to be to get that right. So that's their next biggest thing they're working on, to get it so that it's more decentralized, because there's more like independent sequences. At the StarkX, I believe that is not outsourced. I think it's run completely by Immutable. And then I was really surprised by this thing, the bridge. Axelar, they use Axelar's design, but it's going to have a proof of stake, something in there as well to do the bridging, as well as multiple ZKs and an adapter so there's like that middleware thing I was telling you about last week or the week before, where it's like the beam middleware that gets the code from different locations, processes it and pumps it out in one standard way, so that the UI can read off that consistently, no matter where the game's coming from. Same thing with this. The bridge is going to have multiple bridges because of the ZK EVM, the ZK StarkX. Plus, they're going to have the proof of stake being the engine of their bridge, and it's going to be hackable. So interesting. I thought the StarkX version isn't hackable, but this one will be by the looks of it. Now, again, I might be wrong. That's what but it looks like it's a different design and it's immediate. So that's all I got up to. There's a lot more in there that I just started to go, you know what, this is melting my brain. I can't really understand it all.
Right.
But one last thing that I let in the final thing is we have some exciting innovations we can't reveal just yet coming. So that was written in a way like very new things that haven't happened before. So be very interested to keep my eyes open on what and they're going to announce them through blogs. So we will see them.
They just have to tease us, huh? Just have to tease us.
But yeah, I did want to say that why I want to spend so much time on this is because Zkevm's out in less than 30 days from now. Maybe 33 days.
Yeah.
Is the max. 31st of January is the last day it can come. Otherwise, they lied. So I believe it's going to come out right in the middle of January. They'll go back for a week or two. I think it's ready now, but they just didn't want to release before Christmas. And they want to have a break. They come back on the 8th, spend a week testing, final testing, set it up, get it ready, make it live, do some more live testing on it, with some games that they're building. And probably the 15th to the 20th in between there, they're going to go, bang, here we are, we're live. And Metalcore will be out. I believe Metalcore will be the first game that comes out live with it. That's my prediction.
Oh,
actually, I shouldn't
nice.
give predictions. We shouldn't give predictions because we're going to do that next week.
Yeah. Well, they came out and said that Q1 Metalcore will be out recently. I just seen it recently. It was on Between Two Layers. Yeah, it was Justin Hulog was saying they would be out in Q1 for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, they're ready, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's over, mate. You can move on. You can move on now, mate. Sorry.
No. It's important information. It's very technical, but it's very important information. I had some questions. I didn't even mean to slow you down there, but like things were popping in my head as I was listening to you. And yeah, we got to keep this moving. Some news came out. Another partnership. Go figure. That's what Immutable does. Partnerships, collabs. That hashtag networking that I've been talking about lately. Framework Ventures has entered the dojo in Immutable, and I learned a little bit about them. They got a $1.4 billion valuation, which is pretty substantial, and they're looking. Yeah, they're worth about $1.4 billion when I looked at them. Company out of San Francisco. I don't know exactly where they all came from, but it's not really that important. It's just they've got money, and in addition to that money, they also do blockchain tech things and token spin-ups. How they do that, what do they do exactly, I'm not really sure, but they basically come in, they set up blockchain and token infrastructure, and then they invest their own money into it. It's kind of goofy. I was like, all right, that's one way to secure your investments, I guess. You know what's under the hood, and you know what companies you get with, and then you're gonna provide them funding as well. It looks like they're gonna put roughly $200 million into blockchain gaming space. Now that they're partnering with Immutable, I would assume some of that money's got to be allocated towards gaming projects and Immutable. What's your thoughts on that?
Two punks that run, and this is a pretty young man. They're like little. They look like they're in their 20s still.
Yeah.
That's the takeaway I've got. I'm jealous of the rich bastards.
Yeah. Yeah, we start
make me feel inadequate, so I don't care. Screw them. Who cares? No, I'm just joking. Yeah, good luck to people that are successful.
Right.
If they work hard and make money, I'm happy for them. Or if they're born into it and they still have conviction on something. They're obviously smart. They've chosen the winner, so they're probably. I think it's just a financial investment. Take ownership. Give Immutable more runway, more ways to win more business.
Yeah, I mean, you got to like Immutable bringing in projects that are going to be spending money into their projects. It's kind of weird, all these synergies. Like, they make their own infrastructure to help blockchain games, and then they invest in them. And I'm seeing like all these synergies like come together. Like they're almost all doing the same playbook of like, we'll build it and then we'll put money into it. And I laughed when I was reading up on it. I was like, wow, all right, there must be a cult of these guys running around doing this. I don't know. It just made me laugh. But anyway, anything else on them?
They're rich guys. They're giving the Immutable money. So yay, we're going to win even easier.
Yeah. So, my girl, Carly, she's doing the Between Two Layers. I don't know. I just like what she does. I know I'm a little fanboy with her. I guess I get fanboy with several influencers, but that's just kind of what I do. She had Justin Hulog.
Paul Barron?
Yeah, I like Paul. I think he does a good job. I don't agree with him all the time, but I think he does a good job. I know you don't agree with that statement, but
he's a knob.
What did you call him one time? A turkey? I think you called him a turkey. That made me laugh.
It's like, probably.
Yeah, but yeah,
it's an Australian way to describe someone as an idiot. Yeah.
No, that same thing here. But Between Two Layers, Carly had on Justin Hulog. There were several key points. I will try to keep it as concise as possible, but he was talking about the esports question was brought up. He was talking about more brand awareness for both projects is the ultimate goal when they bring in an esports team. And if the projects happen to be complementary, it's obviously better because it gives a higher chance of success. With achieving that awareness, and hopefully with that awareness comes some more market share. That's not always the case, as not all the normies are into this space. So, you know, he kind of pointed that out. But at the same time, the core product has to be good or great, because if you don't have that at least good core product, you're not gonna do anything with those collabs. They're gonna be meaningless. And the collabs are there to amplify the product, not fix it or, you know, enhance it. The core product's got to be good, and that was his first point in there. I just I didn't know if you had seen the esports part or not. I thought that was kind of unique, and he was talking about the question was brought up. People have been asking for a blockchain gaming console. I actually laughed when I heard that. It's way too early. I can't even believe people are talking about it. And Justin he said, yeah, basically there's no need for it right now. If there was a need for it, then yeah, they'd be looking into it. It'd be a waste of time and energy and resources, in my opinion. So I'm glad he had that take on it. He also iterated about 70% of Web3 games have failed this year, and he said that's pretty normal. He tied the games to the entertainment industry and how it's so hard to get a hit that just sticks. And if you can, does it have the retention numbers? And this was new information for me. They go off a day one, can you retain 40% of the players? And by day 7, can you retain 20% of the players? And by day 30, can you retain 10% of the players? So if you can retain 10% of the players that you start with by day 30, it's actually successful. And that blew me away. Like 90% loss, and that's considered successful. So he had some, that's what he was talking about. That does that strike you as surprising, or is that normal? Is that something that you knew about?
That's probably an average game. Like if you're happy being average, then yeah, 10%. I'm pretty sure that Fortnite's more than 10%. There's 100 million players a day, so they would. What you're telling me, 1 billion people played that game? There's not even 1 billion PCs that could play it. So
yeah,
maybe he's right. Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I listened to it, but I was just fading in and out of him. He's saying a lot of stuff that was
already
generic
said.
and already said by people I've heard before. So that's probably why I stopped listening. Yeah, you picked up. Obviously, I missed out on some things because of that. But when I got to the Shardbound guys, I was really. Sometimes some of those meetings interviews have been a little bit boring from Carly, to be honest with you, and I've faded out of them as well. But this was a really interesting one. The team, they're just superstars. This team of AAA quality, experienced people just know what they're doing. Yeah, mm-hmm. I got that from it. They've had careers in being leaders and trying to build new stuff all the time, and then blockchain, was the next challenge that they felt that they could try to build new things in. And I won't steal your thunder on that cool question. The way you answer that cool question, I'll let you say that one. Going for streamability on Shardbound, so they're going for that, the ability to keep it interesting while you're streaming. And there's interesting phase 1 and phase 2 that wouldn't tell us about phase 2, but they said it's going to be wacky. Phase 1, tradable cards, just like Magic the Gathering, Guild of Guardians, Gods Unchained. And they both love working for Immutable. Says it's frictionless experience.
Right. What thunder you were trying to steal from me? Are you talking about the chief product officer, that message I sent you, to check out what he had to say?
Was that it? But the part when he said, "Do you want the truth?"
Yes. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
What?
I like the way you answered that.
Yeah. Did you like?
Do you
that?
want the fluff? Do you want the fluff answer, or do you want the real answer? No, I thought it was just genuine, and it was true. 100% on his side. What was it?
Yeah, he was the CPO, Stefan Sherman. That guy can speak, man. He can speak, and he knows his product really well. He really impressed me. That's the first time I heard him talk. Yeah, so the chief product officer, Stefan Sherman, the guy absolutely blew me away with some of his answers to Carly's questions. She said something along the lines of, down the road, looking back, are we going to say that Web3 was inevitable? And his answer, the question, he really just owned it, in my opinion. He goes, do you want the truth? And she was like, yeah, of course. And he's like, nobody knows. It's going to take the companies to push through this and find the champion game to basically rally around. And that's why that resonated with me so much. He put it more eloquently than I'm putting it, but like, that's exactly what Immutable is doing. So what he's already seeing and just very eloquently putting out there for everybody to consume is they're going looking for that champion game, and they're taking as many shots as possible. They want as many bullets in their arsenal to take that shot to get that hit game, and they want the home run. They'll take the singles. Singles are nice, but they want that home run because their premise is, and Justin reiterated this too. You get that hit game, it solves a lot of the Web3 FUD, and it doesn't get your pinky in the door. It gets your foot and probably half your leg in the door to really make an impact. Rubik, thoughts?
Yeah, no, it was, I've pretty much covered everything about what I wanted to say to the audience if they didn't want to watch it. It's definitely worth watching that interview. If you haven't got your eyes on Shardbound, you should. It's probably one of the best games, one of the slept on games, biggest slept on games in the CT, in crypto Twitter, and very polished, built by Bazooka Tango, who have built Vainglory, which is a huge 75 million player game. It's like they're excellent developers. You can tell that they're building a fun experience, and that you just know they're going to do it right. Now, that doesn't guarantee it's going to be successful. Everything's got to go right. But if I was going to bet on a game in this industry becoming a huge hit, probably pick it. An episode on Immutable, out of Immutable Games, an episode. Like they're pretty much bankers. And I was already certain of that before the interview, and I come out of this going, wow, these guys are just so good, well spoken, know what they're doing, and just got it down pat. So that's what I took away from it.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that. I absolutely loved it as well. And we're on our last piece today. Not last but not least, our hearts, our homeland, Guild of Guardians. They had another AMA with Chris Clay and Ryan Tadveen. January 2024, the regional test is coming. 10,000 people are going to get to play test it in Canada. And boy, I got to hit up my buddy Tomahawk and see if he can somehow, some way sneak us in, because he's from that area.
Yeah, that's right. Tomahawk's from up there. So is Ansel. Yeah. Maybe we can get Ansel to play it from Ronan, the guy that we did the spaces with. Why don't we get him to try an Immutable game on a passport? He'll be like, so this is what this passport thing's all about. Get away from the .ron.
I bet he's a closet Immutable game player. He just can't publicly admit it.
He even said it on the spaces, mate. He doesn't play games. He's just all in on Ron for the cash. So yeah.
Another big piece information from them. They're going to ZK EVM from StarkX. The NFTs are going to be transferred over. We don't have to worry about it. The tokens, though, they are going to have to be moved to layer 1 and then back. So that's going to be a little bit of gas fees. That could be some controversy. Obviously, if you have a big stash of them, you're doing it. You're not worrying about those small gas fees. But if you only got a little bit, that's going to cut into your little bag. And they're going to try and figure out a solution to mitigate that. But that could be a little controversy coming down the road.
That'd be a nightmare. Imagine if you got 100 tokens and you thought that'd be enough, and they're 20 cents each. That's like the gas fee would be worth more than the token.
Yeah.
There'll be people that just leave their tokens there. They can't do that, man. They can't do it. They have to pay for it to go for free.
They're trying. They said they understand it. Yeah, I think you're right.
They have to, mate.
I think you're right.
It's like how can they not do that? Or they could just get you to send it to their you could send your tokens to an address on a StarkX, and then they just transfer it all in one go. You get it there for a date, they transfer it all in one go, and then repopulate it back into your designated wallet that you've put. You know, you can just sign a contract saying, "This is my wallet that sent you those tokens. This is my new wallet." You know what I mean? And then Immutable just does the one transaction. You know, give everyone 2 months to do it. That's probably what they're going to do. Surely.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I think they
It's
do have to do
gas-free.
something. Yeah.
It's gas free. There's 10,000 holders,
Mm-hmm.
and we all can just either send it to there ourselves, go through layer 1, pay 2 gas fees to get it onto ZK, or we can send it to Immutable's wallet by a certain date, and then after that that date happens, Immutable pays for 1 gas fee to send all the tokens to ZK EVM, and then you can claim your token by signing a wallet address and then entering a new wallet address that you want them to be taken to. But the first one you sign is the one that it will verify that there was a transaction that went to that address from your account, and it knows how much it was, and it gives it to you into that address that you've provided for them, the second address.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Easy. See, I'm a genius.
Let's hope so. I need to circle back on 2 major things that I missed. First of all, I got to give a huge shout out to Tonin. I'm actually legit. I mean, I have my own notes, but I'm looking at his X account right now, and I'm using his layout for this whole breakdown. He's been absolutely amazing. If I ever make it big, I'm going to hire him to do all my notes like this, because it's super convenient and I love it. So if you're not following Tonin, make sure you follow him, give him likes and comments and retweets, reposts or whatever. And then the other thing I missed on the playtest up in Canada, they are going to be doing an analytic focus on retention, monetization, and balance. And the one that really stuck out to me is the analysis of monetization. So they must be going to be giving some GOG tokens for them doing this, which makes sense. But yeah, I'm really interested in the data that they get out of this playtest around monetization. I think that's going to be absolutely critical. You have any thoughts on that?
I'm not sure how they're going to do it. To be honest, I haven't thought about that. You just bring it on me now.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. As you know, I'm supposed to be knowledgeable in this space, but you know what? You're so into GOG that I kind of like go weak source on the research for the GOG stuff, because you're just so good at it, and we just double up. So I focused most of my research on the technical stuff that bored everyone to tears. Now we're going to talk about the fun stuff, and you're going to have to do all the talking. One thing I did.
No, go ahead.
The GOG, the ZK EVM, like we all knew that already. That was no surprise to me. Didn't we know it was going to go to ZK EVM? I swear I already thought it was going to go to ZK EVM.
Same here.
No?
Same here.
Okay, so
but
yeah.
we got to sell it for him. So guess what?
We're going to ZK EVM.
Well,
Can you believe it?
There was some good news though. I mean, important news. I'm going to say good news. The NFTs are getting transferred. That's huge. All right, we don't have to worry about that. But now they got this token issue, so we got a little drama. What would we be without drama in GOG? It's just what they do, you know. Yeah, I'd probably be like, no drama this time. Are you guys okay? Temperature check. Is everybody all right? Blink twice if you're in trouble. No, I'm joking. But yeah, the monetization part, that really, I want to see the data when they come out with the next AMA of how this 10,000 test went. Tell me about the monetization. How did that go? I'm locked in on that one. But we won't beat that to death. This made me laugh. The white paper. The white paper. You're not going to believe this, but it's still to be determined. It's like, when is this coming? When is this coming?
I believe it. You said I'm not going to believe it. You're wrong. I believe it.
But they did come out and at least give us guilds, token utility, pets, and current updates will be in it whenever it is that we get to see it. It's like the carrot that we just can't catch. It's just there, but right in front of us all this time. But yeah, that was in Tonin's beautiful lineup here. They talked about some tokenomics, whatever. It's more how we speak, and we're going to see how it goes. Mobile platform is going to be limited with the GOG token. I'm still curious how that's going to work. There's going to be a separate token on the Web 2 platform so that they can stay compliant and be in the good graces, but in the other side of it, we'll be moving around GOG token. We'll find out more about that in the white paper, like I just said. And Alter. Alter is going to be enabling crafting, burning NFTs, and minting NFTs with GOG. I did not really know that Alter would be handling it. I thought Alter was going to be more about cross breeding NFTs through other games. That's what I was more excited about. You got any thoughts on that?
And Tonan's linked to the Alter from in his post, where that heading November the 12th was bridging interoperability in the Immutable ecosystem. So they did say that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be used for that. So it could be used for that, or just used for in a game within itself. Like it's just a contract. You're sending, send these 3 NFTs and push this button and this token, and this pops out. You know, like those 3 NFTs could be any 3 NFTs that a designer decides to choose. So the game thinks they're also trying to get away from doing this stuff in the game. So maybe that's why, you know, you go out of the game to the Alter, which is just a browser inside the mobile still, where you're not leaving the mobile. I don't have to use it on a PC like now, you know, to go to a browser usually. But you can just, because it sounds like that this is going to be their way around from paying the Apple tax and getting around these stupid laws that they've got in, rules they've got in about not being able to do certain things. So that's what it sounded like to me. Yeah, but it's the monetization thing. I'm really interested to see what the people are going to be paying money. Like I don't understand how they can test monetization. Like if people don't think they're going to get to keep the things, why are they going to spend any money? Like how does that test monetization? So be very interested to see that. Yeah. And I'll have to, be good to see our friend Tomahawk work out. He gets to play it. How cool is that? Canada is one of the bigger guilds, so it makes sense that they do it in Canada as well, because they've been big supporters of GOG for a long time.
We know several people up there in the GOG community. Hopefully, one of them can get in and maybe get us some backdoor information that we can, be ahead of the curve on when we're allowed to talk about it and all that stuff. And they got some more in this AMA we're gonna get to here. Enter this one.
Do you know?
No, go ahead.
I feel like that them changing games and doing the mint before the game, before they had any idea of changing the game, is really like being their Achilles heel. Like it's like they've been slid across the Achilles heel, and they've got to try and make everything fit.
Oh yeah, 100%. You're 100% right.
If they could go back and redesign the NFT drops, and they would look completely different.
Yeah, not
because
this.
Like this.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You know, like it's really hard for them to do all this merging and still keep founder utility. You know what I mean? Like very, very hard to do that. And then with these rules of Apple not letting them do whatever they want in terms of transactions, it's like an extra. They can't just go, this works, we can make it this, like we could do this, because they're going to work around the Apple thing as well. It just feels like it's really like it's going to be really hard for them to get this right.
Well, yeah,
That's what I got out of this.
They came out and said, they're waiting on legal clarity before they say anything more about utility for GOG assets. And I understand it. I get it. And not this AMA, but the previous AMA, you could hear it in Chris's voice and his like subtle sighs about, he made a comment about having to keep up with past promises. And you could just hear it that it was a frustrating thing to do. So I think you're 100% dead on with that.
Yeah, be interesting. Like it would make sense to have the founded tokens be used to, to create wealth, like by minting things and that. So I don't think you're going to be able to do it. So I think there's going to be I've got a funny feeling a lot of people are going to be really disappointed with what comes out of the founder utility.
I hope not, but
got a funny feeling. Yeah.
I'm kind of bracing myself for the impact too, but I will say their stake and rewards have been pretty decently recently. I believe they got back pay, so to speak, of some mistakes, and there were some nice surprises that I got in my account. So hey, you know, they're trying. They're trying. I'm going to give them credit for that. They did say more active staking would be coming. So we don't have the details on yet, but that is going to be an ongoing thing. So if you hold your assets,
Is that finished?
it was supposed
Is
to
that
finish.
finished?
It was in December, but now they said that more active staking will be coming. So if you plan on holding in your GOG
Ooh.
assets, there's going to
Ooh, I
be more
just checked
coming.
mine. Wow.
Yeah,
I just checked my tokens. I've got wow.
yeah, yeah. It was a pleasant surprise. It was a pleasant surprise. So, you know, we kick them when we need to kick them, but we got to give them praise when we need to give them praise. So, you know, I'm going to give them
Oh
praise for
man,
that.
I've never been. There's a lot of people that were saying things like GOG's complete, like been let us completely down. I think you were pretty
Oh yeah,
upset for a while there as
oh
well.
yeah.
But I think they've given a lot. Like I got so many tokens for free because I bought NFTs, and that was never. I never knew that was coming. I bought those NFTs without knowing, and all of a sudden now after staking, wow,
Yeah.
I've got
Merry Christmas, brother.
wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, like they've done some things right, and like they've made up for things to me. In my book, I told you this when you were upset at the start because you were so involved in this game. You're way more than me from the start, and you still are. But and I can understand where you're coming from. That's why I was just stood off and never ever went too hard on trying to correct you. I just said one day you'll see the light because I could see that they were trying to do it, and I think you've come around. You're still wary, but you've come right around from where you were. There's still people that just are never going to be come around. You know what I mean? They're just here waiting for that moment to get out because of a certain person that was involved in this game. And there's just that person, even though they're not here anymore, just destroyed that trust completely forever.
Right.
So, you know.
I can see what they're doing, and yes, I was upset a while ago, but I think I had good reason to. Yes, I was heavily involved, and it wasn't just my own personal bags for my reasoning. It just I
No.
when somebody tells me
I know
something, I'm going to trust you, and if I trust you, there's a level of truth communication between, and I understand that they can't predict everything and all that, and I'm not going to go real too deep in this because we got to move on. But it was more about what they did to the community after everybody. It wasn't just about me. It was about everybody that had put everything in so much for 2 years. And to have that hard of a shift right after the insult of the esports deal in February, it was just the final straw for me. And I had to say something, and I don't regret it. I don't regret it all one bit. I can see the light now, and I'm moving forward, like I've said in the past. But back then, yeah, I think I had every right to be upset, not just for myself, but for everybody, all my friends in this community. And I will.
Yeah, I knew.
I'm not backing down from that.
If that come across like I was saying that you were upset for yourself, I didn't mean that to come across
No,
that way.
no,
were
I didn't.
There was, you know, and I agree with you that you were a little bit upset, rightfully, and you know, because you put so much energy into this game, so much energy. You know, it was so cool seeing all your characters you used to make on your content and stuff, and that just got sucked out of you because of, you know, a certain person. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
and
and
so that's
all the credit to Chris Clay, man. He's really turned this around, and
yeah.
he's given all of us a bunch of hope. And I'm going to bat for him and going to give him as much chance and leeway as I possibly can. But back to
I wanted to say something about
no, go
Chris
for it.
as
Go
well,
for it.
because he's like one of the major things I've taken both of those last meetings he's had. He's focused a huge amount of time on other people's behavior, you know, and how that affects him and the team and stuff like that. And I'm like, if you're listening, Chris, you can't fix these people. You cannot. You can only fix the way you react to them. And you're never ever going to change that. There's people in this world that just care about one thing and one thing only, and that's themselves. And you just got to focus on the good people and on the good things and the people that care about you and the people that really love the work you're doing and tell you that, like WT and I do. So, you know, like you're never going to change. You're not going to create world peace. You're never going to stop toxicity, and to punish everyone that's doing the right thing by, you know, because one bad actor isn't going to help the cause in any way. Like, just my suggestion would be to focus on the good things and to completely ignore anyone that's not. meeting your standards. And I can't tell you what to do, but that's my advice to you, mate.
Yeah, to sum it up, honestly, it's funny that you say that. Someone said to me the phrase "don't feed the cat," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" I had some issues with a boss of mine because like I give him some information and then he spawns like 20 questions off of it, and it's very frustrating at times trying to deal with that all the time. And my buddy's like, "Dude, don't feed the cat," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "The less you give them, the more they'll come back at you with." So I was like, "Oh, okay. So Chris, don't feed the cat. Those trolls and toxic people, don't feed them. Just don't even acknowledge them. Just
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to move on. So back to this AMA. Let's get on the.
Oh, that was part of that. That was part of the AMA. That was in the AMA. He spent 10 minutes talking about that.
I know.
So it's like I've gone to the end though. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. We're kind of bouncing all over the place. Another interesting point was guild raids are possibly going to be post-launch. That was some good news to hear. That's been a big topic amongst community is what's going on with raids, and yeah, let's get those going. Let's get those rolling. That'd be fun to check out.
Post-launch or in-launch?
It said post-launch, unless I got it wrong. I thought it was post-launch, but
that means after the launch of the game, not at the start.
That's how I read it. Maybe I got my facts wrong, but it does. They might just want to launch the game and then roll it out. Who knows? But it's coming.
That's what the whole delay was, wasn't it? The delay was because get guilds in the game and be able to raid with them.
Yes, it was.
They will not be in the regional test launch. No,
maybe I read that wrong. Did I read that wrong? I could have sworn
we're absolutely aiming to have guilds in global launch. Okay, but will guilds be released at launch or post launch? What will be the guild function and features? Yeah, I think maybe they don't have a huge amount of guild stuff, but the guilds will be in the game and you'll be able to do content for sure as a guild with the launch, not the regional launch, though. That's what it says.
All right, so I might have got that wrong. Apologies, everybody. I thought it said post-launch. I'm looking for it now, but maybe I got that wrong. My apologies, guys.
Maybe he said I'm just reading Tonnins. I'm being a cheap hack. I didn't research. I'm just reading Tonnins. They're saying the guilds will be in the launch, but guild raids it doesn't say. So maybe guild raids aren't going to come with the launch, which will be disappointing.
Yeah. Well, it'll come when it comes. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm not really in a rush anymore. Let's just get it. Let's get it right this time. That's my goal. Let's get it right this time. So, founder utility. This was awesome. Founder guardians are going to start with some form of advantage. Yeah. Okay. I like that. It's pretty clear, cut and dry. Yeah. Give me some perks. Yeah. I'll take it.
I worry about that though. I worry about that. Like, if gamers don't like it, people getting advantages to the gameplay. Yeah, that's what I know.
Well, from experience. I know I seen it. It says at the start, so I don't know what they can do. Maybe the Zkevm tech will let them be able to leave the perk on for a while for a duration, and then it's turned off. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That'd be cool if it was like a timer. Like if you have a founder asset, when you go to use it, you have 30 days of this perk or something like that. And then once it's used, it's used. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but that'd be kind of cool if it was something like that, And then that would give the assets value because, like, okay, well, I don't want to use this. I'll hold it and sell it. And again, I don't know if this is the case, but that would be cool. No PvP for now. We kind of knew that. And Justin talked about this in Between Two Layers about the retention of GOG was off the charts for what they were looking for. They were looking for the 40% in the first day, 20% in the 7 days, and they got, I think, 65% in the first day and 43% in the 7-day retention stats. And they feel comfortable now. They feel comfortable going ahead with marketing, and the marketing push is supposed to be pretty substantial. I like it. I hope they're ready, because once you start marketing, we're taking a step forward that you can't kind of walk back.
Yeah. I couldn't log in for the first day or something because got something wrong, and it was my fault. And then I was locked out for the last 3 or 4 days. I reckon there was other people locked out as well and just stopped playing because I got to a point where I'd got to a point where I didn't need to play anymore to go to the effort to log in. So I'll be interested to see. I reckon the stats are even better than that. To be honest with you, it's a very addictive game. Sorry,
Yeah,
I
addicted.
didn't think I'd like it. Honestly, I've been saying it for ages. I like ARPGs way better than this, but I actually love the casualness of it, where I could just watch TV and play it.
Yeah,
on your couch.
One other thing I forgot. Oh, so go ahead.
Go.
One other thing I forgot. This one kind of I'm not opposed to it. I mean, they gotta test it out and stuff. But like in-game energy limit, no action limit initially. So that reads to there's not going to be an energy sequence right at the start, which I don't know. I got kind of mixed feelings on that. That's a big key. That's a big part of it. But maybe they just need it off for testing purposes. They need people to play their brains out until they're ready.
I think what they'll do is they have diminishing returns on your output. So it doesn't make sense to say people you can only play 2 hours when some people want to play 10. People go play other games in that case. So, but if you make it that your rewards are diminishing for the more you play, people get to a point where they're like,
yeah,
the diehards will play right to the 10 hours, and the people that will do their bare minimum won't get left behind too much.
Right.
Also, the GOG staking to get the energy, the minting energy. Do you remember that point?
No, tell me more.
So inside they won't let, for some reason, Apple won't let people use tokens to do, what's it called? They won't let
transactions
to do minting.
Okay.
So they're going to make minting energy.
Right.
Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just have you buy minting energy with tokens, but the minting energy isn't like refundable? So you got GOG token and GOG mint token, but the GOG mint's not an actual it's not an actual token. It's an in-game token. Could they just buy? You could buy that GOG minting token with real money or the GOG token. But what they're going to do is that you need to stake your GOG, and part of the staking rewards will be in-game minting energy, which isn't a token, so that you can use that. So you're proving that you got tokens to be able to do mints
of heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They didn't say. I didn't catch what they said you're going to mint.
Okay.
I assume it's heroes. Yeah. Maybe crafting. I don't know. But it's it's an interesting way they're going about it. What will work better? People spending it in Immutable and Immutable or Google the Guardians getting that token
I wonder if there's some legal loophole that they're using to get around things by doing it this way. Maybe doing it the more direct way that you're saying. Why aren't they doing that? Maybe there's a legal thing that's blocking them.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head.
The legal, there's no legal thing. It's Apple won't allow tokens to be spent in the game. They'll allow you to be allocated tokens from playing the game, but you cannot spend the tokens in the game.
Well,
it's just ridiculous.
That's what I mean. It's Apple's legal. I'm not talking about government legal. I'm talking about Apple's terms of service is saying, no, you can't do this. And so they found a unique way to get around that maybe. It's the only thing I can think of.
The unique way to get around it is they're saying is to stake GOG tokens, and you'll be allocated minting energy, which isn't a blockchain technology. It's just an in-game soft currency.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll find out more when the white paper is coming out. Yeah.
Overall, I'm going to be honest with you. I was a bit disappointed with that AMA and AMA. And was that the actual AAA video they were telling us about, or was that something? Was that just different?
I honestly, I was listening. I'd listened to it while I was driving, so I couldn't watch. I didn't even see it. Apologies. I listen to a lot of stuff, and I don't have time to sit and watch. So.
Well, it's the video on Tonan's on December 20th first page.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah, that
wondering-
I did
'cause
see.
They're saying that they're part of their marketing is AAA people. League of Legends made videos.
Right.
That can't be it, surely. Like, it's cool. I like it for an in-game trailer, not the GTA 6
I
launch video.
I highly doubt this is it. When they unleash the marketing, from what they said, we'll know it. And if they don't,
Yeah,
then
they
it's going
said
to be a
AAA.
fail. This
They
can't
said
be it.
AAA, and that video is not AAA quality to me. It's fun, it's good, but it's not AAA.
Yeah.
AAA launch trailer in production with original song by vendors who have worked on LOL and other AAA games. Nah, it mustn't be. It must have been just a little.
What I know
Surely.
about video editing, from watching this, I could do this, and I'm not a pro. I could do this.
Yeah.
And I'm not a pro.
Okay.
So I would be stunned if this is what they're talking about, AAA.
Thank God for that.
I would be stunned. I would be stunned because I could do this. I could literally do this on my phone. I'm not even joking.
All right. Okay.
So,
I'm
but,
not worried now.
anyway.
I believe.
Not trying to downplay.
So yeah, it was. Tokenomics were disappointing. White paper was disappointing. Not much more information on Alta. Not much information on the founders' utility. Big announcement, ZK EVM. We already knew that was going to happen. So I just felt a little bit disappointed that there was nothing new, too new that I got really excited about. And then, of course, in Canada, when I can't play the game as well. So it was never going to be in Australia. That's for sure. But
yeah, some of it was
looking forward to
repeats. Some of it was repeats. I did like that, they came out and said Founder Guardians are going to start with an advantage. That's nice to know. And we'll have to wait and see. I really want to see this white paper. I mean, I know it comes when it comes, but let's get that out. Let's put that behind us. But they're going to do what they're going to do. We can't force them. So
if they brought the white paper out now, and then all of a sudden
they got to make changes.
Changes again. So yeah, I get it.
I get it.
But anyway, GOG. I am still pumped for GOG. I can't wait for Q4 2. Probably going to come out in June. I'd say June 30th. And I'm going to play the hell out of the game. But
they did say they're on
it's been
track still. They did say they're on track time-wise.
Long journey. It's been a long journey.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to add on Guild of Guardians?
No, man. No, I really like Immutable's direction. It's all about synergies, collabs, and networking, and their goal is to find that hits plural games to really set themselves apart. They want the home runs, and I think they're on the right track. I like everything they're doing. I like what Guild of Guardians direction is going. Chris Clay, keep going, man. We got your back. Just keep going, and let's make this 2024 come in just something that we say wow at, man. Let's do this.
Immutable's on break between the 22nd and the 8th of January.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got probably the next show will be season 2, episode 1, 2024, probably middle of January somewhere. And there won't be that much content because Immutable's been on holidays for the whole time. So there's just been the last month has just been packed. 2 months actually has been packed full of news and updates and just big news from Immutable. It's been the biggest 2 months for Immutable since I've started supporting them.
Yeah.
So we just had a lot to talk about, and we're going to have, to everyone that's listening, we're about to wrap up, but if you want our final episode of the year might end up being pushed out until really early in Jan 2024. We're going to do a wrap up of the year and some predictions for the future. So it's a pretty big one. We've got a lot of content to go through. We're going to talk through about all the milestones of Immutable for 2023. So that's our next episode, coming in about a week from today, from when you're hearing this.
Awesome. Can't wait for that.
All right. That's it.
All right.
You it? We done?
Yes, sir.
You done? You
Everybody
finished?
take care.
You-
Bye-bye now.
We're going to do some outro music.
Oh, yeah.
This
has been
That's it.
Gamers Galaxy News. That guy killed me. All right, we got to go.
See ya.
Later.
Bye.